Hi crafty friends, welcome back. Now this is going to be part 5 of the tutorial for the journal. Now before we go any further, the last video would have left you with your completed gubbins, as I call it, for your journal. Okay, so you should have it all inserted in your journal and then all stitched in nicely. Okay, now before we go any further, I thought I would do this episode, if you want to call it that, just messing around and making some pockets and some tag templates to go in the journal. I thought it would be a nice idea because it is a large journal. It's going to take a lot to fill up and embellish with bits and pieces. So bearing in mind, because it is quite big and chunky, you are not going to be able to put a lot of embellishments in this. Yes, it is at that angle at the moment, so it's thicker this end and it's thinner this end. The more and more you put in it, it will pull that apart and make it flat. But you can't put too much in it. You can't put great big chunky flowers and flat back pearls and things in it. So we want to try and make it as pretty as we can, but with flat ideas, if you get my gist. So we'll be using things like pockets, die cuts, bits and pieces like that without going overboard and using all your big, large embellishments. First thing I wanted to do was make a pocket for some of our pages that we could use. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, measure across how wide our page is. So it's roughly 4.5 wide. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is create a pocket. Okay. Now, pockets I can measure and do things like that. The idea for the tags and things that we'll be making actually came from Anna at Xanaro. She does have a video going back a long time ago on how to make your own tags and things for your journals and your albums and bits and pieces. So if you want to pop over and have a look at hers, then please do, because she has such amazing and wonderful ideas. Right, to start with, I have zoomed my camera in as close as I can get it without it going too distorted. So we'll get stuck in. So what I've got is just a piece of paper to start my template. I always find it easier to make out my template on a piece of paper and then draw around the paper onto a thick piece of card, and then you can cut out the thick piece of card and you can keep them all in a folder or something for your templates. You've always got them there to use when you want them. So what I'm going to do on here, let me think, if the page is that wide, we want it that wide. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure across 4 3/4 and make a mark. And then I'm going to do the same again a little bit further up, 4 3/4. Okay, and then using those 2 dots, I'm going to measure up, how deep do we want it? Roughly, okay, so if we say we want the pocket to be 3 deep, plus we've got to allow for the folds on the pocket. So I'm going to do 3 1/4 and go down. Then I'm going to measure 3 1/4 from this side and place a mark there. And then I'm just going to join that up across there. So basically you're just making a square, which is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, like that. Let's pick that up and show you, because I've got the lamp on, so you won't be able to see it properly otherwise. Okay, and then all I'm going to do on each side, I'm going to mark 1/4 inch on either side at the top, 1/4 inch on either side at the bottom. Okay, then you can draw them 2 lines in, one out, one out, and then I'm going to measure 1/4 inch up from the bottom edge, and you will see why in a moment, and then draw a line across there. I think that's the right dots that I just put in place there. That looks about right. So you're going to have a square with a border on 2 sides, that side, and on the bottom edge, which is 1/4 inch. Okay, then what I'm going to do is cut that out. Like so. Okay, so you should have that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is snip off the corners, so you have flaps for sticking down your pocket. So what I'm going to do is on the top 2 corners, I'm going to cut up to that line, and then on the bottom corners I'm just going to cut straight across like that. Okay, so you should have something that looks like that, and then these edges will be scored and folded underneath to create your pocket. Okay, now I don't want my pocket plain like that, I want a pretty edge on the top of it. So I'm going to show you how we do this. Okay, with your pencil marks on the outside, you're going to fold it in half. Try and keep it as central as you can, like so. Okay, you can give it a nice fold up the edge there, and then all I've got in front of me, I think I have a 2p piece. I have the lid off of a deodorant can, or this is actually off my starch bottle because it was sitting in the corner of my desk, and I have a little pot of beads there, which is round as well. So grab your round stuff. Okay, now I want the centre of my pocket to kind of curve downwards, so what I'm going to do is on this fold edge from the top, I'm going to mark down roughly, let me think, about 1/2 inch maybe. Okay, and then across the top here I'm going to find roughly where halfway is, so that's 2 1/8, so I want to go 1 1/16, like so. Okay, and then you can just draw in little faint lines across there, like so. They're not straight, they're not perfect, but you can see where the lines are roughly. Okay, they're only a rough guide, so it doesn't matter. So then all I'm going to do, because I want my pocket to go inwards at a slope, okay, and then in here and then rounded across the top, okay. Also what I'm going to do on this top edge, I'm going to go in 1/4 of an inch and put a mark there, okay. From this bit here I've marked 1/4 of an inch in, okay, because you don't want your pattern to fall on this line that you're going to be folding. So I've come in 1/4 of an inch and then I can draw my pattern on the rest of it, okay. So all you do then is just kind of mark out where you want your lines and things to be, and then let me see, what size do I need? Is that going to be too big? Yeah, that's going to be too big, so I'm going to use this pot, okay, because it's the right sort of size that I want. And then you just start roughly halfway across there. So I'm going to draw around that now, okay. So I've just done that there from the centre, and then I'm going to line it up on the top from there to that 1/4 of an inch mark on the edge, and I'm just going to draw around that way, okay. So you got that. And then what I'm going to do is, you just, using your pencil, just follow the lines round with your pencil and just even out the edges, you know, placing the curves a bit more where you want them to be, okay, just like that. And then I'm going to cut this out where I've just marked. So along this top edge here, where I've just drawn my pencil line, keeping it folded in half, I'm going to cut round this carefully, like so, okay. So you have a bit of a wibbly wobbly edge, okay. And then when you open it out, it will be exactly the same on both sides, and you'll have a nice shape to the top of your pocket, okay. So that's that. Now we need a card to go inside this pocket that fits nicely with the same sort of shape to the top, okay. So what I'm going to do is put that to one side, and then you need your card to go in. So what I'm going to do, let's see if I have enough on here. No, is that going to be deep enough there? Let me see. I need a straight line on the bottom of my paper to work with, so I'm just going to stick this in my trimmer very quickly, lined up against that edge, and just cut that across there. So that's a nice straight line that I'm working with. So then the card to fit this pocket, I'm going to go up 4 inches on this side and put a mark, and then move it over to roughly where 4 inches would be, and then put another mark, okay. Now I want my card to be 4 inches high by 3.5 across so it slits inside the pocket. So across those 2 marks that I just made, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches. And I couldn't have asked for that to be any more perfect. The 3.5 inches is actually where I put my pencil mark. And then 3.5 inches at the bottom, and put a pencil mark. And then join that up across there. Okay, so you have a square. I don't want that 3.5. Yes, I do. I want that 3.5. Yeah, so it's going to be 4 by 3.5. Okay, I'm just going to cut this out. You don't have to make this. If you've got like your own little templates from other journals and things that you've made, or inside, I know if any of you ladies have graphic 45 paper, on the front and the back inside covers there is designs for tags and pockets and bits and pieces on there. You can use those. So all I'm going to do is, now I've done that, I'm going to take my pocket that I've just made, okay, and then across the 3, no, we want to go the other way, sorry, across the 4-inch line, I'm just going to line that up with the top of that. And then taking my pencil, I'm just going to follow the same shape that we cut out for the pocket. Okay, so you'll have that. It will probably be easier to fold this in half. Come to think of it, because then you've only got to cut around that bit once. Okay, so fold it in half, and then line up where the halfway mark will be on your pocket. Okay, and that is the same. So just draw around that across the top, like so. And then taking my scissors while it's still in half, again, just cut round very carefully, following the pencil line. Okay, and then open your card out, and then you're going to have a card with the same pattern as your pocket. So when it's inside your pocket, obviously ignoring the flaps, then put that down on the corners exactly like that. Okay, you're going to have a card, if you can see that, that sits inside the pocket like that. Okay, I'm quite happy with that design, so I'm okay with leaving it like that. Then what you're going to do, once you've got them and you've finished playing around and drawing the bits and pieces, you're going to get a piece of card. You want reasonably thick card. I'm just going to show you on a piece of this printer card that I used to print on. What you're going to do is draw around the whole thing. Okay, cut it out. So taking a pencil, you have to be careful with this because using paper, obviously it's a bit more difficult to draw around. So just make sure you've got your flat edges, that your paper's not kind of folding up. And that's that side. Oh, that's that side. Okay, so draw around your paper. So you've got that pencil mark there, like that. Okay, on a nice thick piece of card, and then cut that out. And then all you want to do, I mean, obviously you know where your marks are going to be roughly. But you need to pencil on your lines roughly like so. Okay, and then you just put pocket template. Okay, like so. Cut that out. Okay, and then you can use it on a sheet of paper or card or whatever you like, and you've got a pocket design there. Do the same with the tag that goes inside it, and then you've got a template that you can always keep in a little folder somewhere, and you can always use it for journals or albums, whatever you like. Okay, so that's that one. I will use that after and cut that out onto some card. Now, if you still have your piles of paper next to you from cutting your paper out for your files, you should have quite a stack of paper sitting next to you, as well as your stack of card. You should have a stack like that. Yes, my God, all that paper. So you should have one lot that's thin and the other lot that's quite fat. Okay, so I'll just put them to one side. I'm going to get a sheet. I'm just going to use one of these pieces. Okay, that is the fatter piece of paper, the wider piece of paper. Okay, and we're going to do a tag. So I wanted to show you how to do a tag. Now the tag is going to be that thick, that wide, okay? Not necessarily that long, but what you want to do is fold your piece of paper in half lengthways. Okay, like so. So you have your paper and it's folded in half. Okay. And what we're going to do this time, on the edge that's open, we're going to be drawing down that side. But we need to know, how long do we want the tags to go? Now this one's quite thin, so let's have a look. If that's just under 3 inches wide. Right, okay. So if it's just under 3, then we'll make it lengthwise. If we say 4 inches, so just measure roughly 4 inches across there, mark it, and then cut it off. Okay, So you'll have that 4 inches long by, I think it's just under 3 inches wide. Now the side that opens, we're going to be drawing down that side, okay, and to make a tag. Now bearing in mind your tags have a hole at the top, okay, to thread a piece of ribbon or something through. You don't have to put the holes in your tags if you don't want to for this journal, but we're going to create a nice shape for this journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a play. Now I want the top of mine to be quite rounded off, so I'm going to go from the very top there. Yeah, can I get that? No. So let me try something else. If I start from the top there, okay. I think I'll use this one again, actually. It's kind of an in between that one and that one. Now I'm just going to draw very faintly around that there, because as I said, I'm only playing, so I don't know where I want to go with this tag at the moment. Then I think I'm going to curve it back out, so I'm just going to turn it upside the other way and roughly join in the lines. I'll curve it back around that way, and then I want to curve it again to come down the edge of my tag. So I'll curve it like that, so it comes down the edge of my tag, okay. And then roughly about there, I want to make a little notch, so it comes out there. And then just use all your different shapes and sizes, you know, as I said, whatever you've got to play with. Just put it down on the paper, draw around it, and then you can smooth out the edges after. So that's like that. And then I need to bring that back round to that corner. That's too big, so I need a slightly smaller circle. Go with that and try that. And then see, now that's not going to work because I need to curve that round there nicely like that. So I'm going to start again and put that one there. Sorry, I hope you can see this. Well, you'll be able to see in a minute. And then I'm just going to put a little lip in there, like so. Right, that is good enough. Now I'm just following the shapes and darkening it out. So I know which lines to cut and follow. Okay, so there you go. You can see a few different lines and things on there, but that is the shape I have created, and that's just laying different size circles down. Okay, and don't forget that is on the outside edge. Okay, so then again I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut around this pencil line very carefully. Bit wibbly wobbly. I like mine to be quite unique shapes. I don't like just your plain old fancy square type tags. There we go. Okay, so cut down the edge of mine, which is like that. Okay, and then when you open it out, it will look like that. Okay, so there you have a tag. And then if you want a hole in it, just roughly eyeball it where you think your centre bit would be, like so, and then just punch a hole. Now I'm a cheat. I have one of these, which is a hole punch. That is just a single-handed hole punch. Okay, so you can put it in a hole puncher, whatever you've got to use to put a hole in the tag. And I'm going to place mine about there. No, it doesn't want to come out and hasn't punched properly. That wasn't a good start, was it? Right, and it's still stuck on there. That's because it's paper, it's not card. Okay, so there you have a tag. So go and have a play with these, you know, just as I said, get your bits of paper. You don't have to have all the same as me. Get your bit of paper, fold it in half as best as you can. Okay, decide how long you want it. Obviously don't make them too wide, don't make them too long. It's only going in a small journal. Okay, just decide roughly, okay, I want it that long. Okay, cut it off. Okay, and then on the outside edge you can just pencil it in if you wish to. So say you decide that, okay, I want a little lip up the top because that's where I want my hole to go. Then I want it to curve around that way, but then I want it to come back round that way. Okay, like so. And that could be it. You could just leave it like that. And then you could round it off on the bottom corner if you wanted to. Okay, you can leave the bottom corner square if you want to. So you could have a tag that's that shape. Okay, but as I said, I like mine a bit wibbly wobbly, so I'm going to go in here and instead of coming back out there, I'm going to follow that curve all the way down to that bottom bit where that curves round onto there. Okay, so just draw shapes, whatever you wish. It'll be good to see your designs again while it's still in half. Cut round your pencil line that you just created. It's better to do this with a small pair of scissors, obviously, because you're going at so many angles. I'll try and get it straight across there. Okay. And when you fold it out, you have one that's that shape. Okay. And then again, just try and eyeball where the middle is there. Then use your punch. So it went straight through that time. Okay, so you've got a tag that's like that. So I've done one that's that shape and one that's that shape. Okay, so you've got that one there with the squiggles in the middle, and you've got that one that just curves down the middle. And you can make them all different sorts of shapes and sizes. And so go and have a play. Make yourself some pockets. Make yourself some cards to go in your pockets. Remember, your cards to go in your pockets have to be at least 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it slips in and out of your pocket quite nicely. Make yourself some tags too. Okay, go and have a play, and then come back and we'll start decorating, I suppose. So have some fun with that first, guys. I'm off for the night now because it is getting late. I don't have work tomorrow, so I should be able to get a few more videos up tomorrow, hopefully, and we can start designing and creating, and you guys can, you know, give me some ideas. Tell me what you think you would like in a journal, and I will see if it's possible and if I can put it in there. Okay, that'd be an idea. Let's have some inspiration from you guys. Let me know what you'd like to see in it. If it's possible, I will make it and we will put it in. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.